Hey everyone, I need to make a modification to my tow bar, so I thought I'd do a little video of it. I haven't really used it much other than towing it around the yard, and this unistrut really isn't made for this, and even in that little bit you can see where it kind of bent it a little bit. So I'm going to take this thing off, and I've got some scrap pieces I'm going to cut up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a flat piece and weld it on either side so it'll be 3 times as thick, and that should be plenty strong for towing this. I don't know how thick it'll be in the end, but I'm going to do that to all four of them, all four ends here. So I'm going to take this off, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I have a couple pieces of scrap here left over from when I redid the trailer, so I'm going to use these to basically make washers. I'm going to cut the sides off and then cut across them so I have individual pieces, and then I'm going to put one on either side and weld them down so it'll be 3 times as thick, and hopefully that'll be strong enough to tow the four-wheeler around. I think it will be. Unistrut's pretty tough stuff. It's just this is kind of like a bit of a weak spot for it, you know. So anyway, I'm gonna cut them off, and I'll be right back. All right, so make sure there aren't any critters inside my gloves, and looks like I need to get 2 different gloves. Hold on a second. Alrighty, I got my welding gloves on, and I like to wear welding gloves when I'm using the cutting wheel because I got cut pretty good last year. You use this tool enough and you get so comfortable with it, a lot of times you grab it and you don't even bother with gloves. But anyway, I was actually using gloves. I was using a glove like this, and it kicked back on me really unexpectedly and caught my finger really bad. And this thing offered pretty much no protection. It did help. I'm sure it would have been worse if I didn't have it. So ever since then, I've been trying to wear welding gloves to be smart enough to remember to put them on when I cut stuff. And I'll be cut. This is quite a bit of cutting, so it's definitely good to have some nice heavy-duty gloves on. But anyway, yeah, I'm just going to cut the sides off of this and then cut in between so I have basically some washers. So yeah, I might as well get to it. Alrighty, so I got all my little pieces cut out and everything, and I was looking at it. Originally what I was going to do was I was going to weld one on either side, but I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to weld both of them on the inside, and that way I don't have to flip the piece around. It'll save me a little bit of time. So there's that, and you can kind of see the edge. It's a lot thicker now. So I got my welder all set up, my 220 welder. It's a little overkill, but that's alright. And unfortunately I don't have 220 out to the carport yet, so I always use the generator here to weld it. Alrighty, so I'm just about set up and I'm ready to start the generator, so I thought I'd take a video of it since I haven't started it in a long time. And I don't know if you can see, but over here I got it labeled in marker off, and I also got it labeled there because it's mislabeled. So there, the gas is definitely still on. Personally, if there's a petcock valve on something, I don't care if it's a motorcycle, a four-wheeler, or a generator, I always leave the gas on. If you don't leave the gas on, the carburetor will dry out, and chances are you're going to have to take it off and rebuild it before you can get it to run again. So, yeah, that's my personal advice. Other people do it differently. But, yeah, I'm going to throw the camera on, and we'll see if she'll start up, or how hard it's going to be to start this thing up. Alrighty, that's on. And let me see. I forget how the choke works. I think that's closed. All right, here's a little diagram. Start, and then this is run. Okay, we'll see how this goes. Pull it to the compression stroke. I think that's it. There's a compression stroke. Alrighty, so I thought I'd throw this in. I don't have the welder on. It would be a little easier. But basically, it's really hard to get in there, and as you can see, the gun doesn't fit at all. But what you can do is you can run some wire out really far. I don't have that much in here. But you can get the wire in there and then hold the gun back and then start welding. And that's how you can get in tight little places like this. This is really stretching the limits, because the problem is that even though I'm able to get in here, the wire's going to still arc over to other parts of the steel if it gets closer. So yeah, this side actually didn't come out too bad, considering trying to weld in such a small, tight area. This side I couldn't really get, was a lot tougher. But yeah, I thought I'd throw that in. Alright, I decided to cut these tops off so I could get in here and weld. And as you can see, I actually got in there and got some beads on that side. And yeah, this is a side that didn't come out too well. I couldn't really get in there at all. So I got that off, and yeah, I'll weld that all together so it's nice and solid. So yeah, I'm going to do that to all of them. And then that definitely, now that you can get a good look at it, you can see how beefy it is. It should definitely hold up. If not, I'll just keep welding more pieces on there until it gets thick enough to do the job. So I'm going to cut the other one up and try and get these all welded in for the night, and I'll catch you in the next one. Alrighty, hopefully it isn't too bad with the generator running. But basically what you want to do when you need to weld in a really tight space is I'm going to get a lot of wire out, you know, about like that. I'm going to push the wire against, and then I'm going to pull the trigger. And then that way, hopefully I can keep that arc down there without hitting this other piece of metal and weld. A lot of times this is really, really tight. This is an extreme example, but you can do it. So that's how you guys get in there in really tight spots. Alrighty, I just finished up, and let's see if I can turn the lights out. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's actually, now it's gone. It was still glowing a little red. Alrighty, I got all these guys welded up, and yeah, they don't look too bad. It's kind of interesting. These are the ones I did in the beginning, and I'll tell you what, that 220 MIG welder, there's absolutely nothing I wouldn't weld with that. It has a lot of power. You can see I burnt through the unistrut there. But what's really interesting is after you start using it for a while, it really warms up, and then you start getting these really, really smooth welds. This steel is coated, and as you can see, it looks absolutely horrible where I welded it. It's not nice and gold anymore. But that's a coating they have on there. I'm not exactly sure what coating this is. It doesn't look like zinc, you know. But whatever it is, you know, it throws off some nasty fumes and stuff. And most guys will take the time to actually grind this stuff off, you know, before they weld, clean their surfaces up. I really don't do that. You know, when you're a good enough welder and if you have a good enough machine, you can burn through just about anything. And you will get a good weld. I've welded all kinds of stuff like that, and it's held up just fine. I would put these welds up against anything that was cleaned and scraped and gone through all that trouble. So anyway, I got that all hooked up, and looks like that's going to do it for me. I'm going to let these cool off, and I'll test them out tomorrow, and we'll see how they do. So thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.